Thank you. I have come to represent the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, Professor Muoka, who sends his wishes to the organizers of this bullion lecture. Ray Echebri, I greet you. I think since the lecture began, NCC had participated every year that it has held. We have done a lead presentation at one of the events. The chairman of NCC had chaired the occasion at another point. This time, the EVC has asked me to represent him, and I'll be thinking that a lot of people would now be wondering what has telecommunications and the NCC got to do with blue economy, because it's about the ocean and its resources. But again, telecommunications disrupts, or if you like, it partakes of every economy. So I'm sure the DG knows to a large extent that the telecommunications have a lot of role to play in the development and progress of the blue economy. Not only that, the telecommunications industry has continued to make a lot of progress, that in every sector of the economy we find it difficult to actually make a lot of progress with without the telecommunications industry. And that is the reason I will highlight some of the major steps that the telecommunications regulator have taken, not only to make progress in the economy generally, but also in the blue economy. And I have to mention the broadband plan of the government, and of course, any plan that the regulator has in terms of telecommunications is the plan of the government. But the Nigerian Communications Commission represents the federal government in the implementation of all policies and plans in the telecommunications industry. And that is where some of those activities and programs that we have initiated and are implementing can be identified. For broadband, we have figures indicating penetration to various technologies, wired, wireless, and all that. But one important information we need to share is that the plan of broadband is designed to deliver data download speeds across the country at the level of 25 megabytes per second in urban areas in at least 90% of the population in Nigeria by the year 2025. And that has enabled, if you look at how we are able to access data communications in Nigeria, a lot of people may not know, but the prices of offering broadband data services has continued to come down, because we have, at this moment, the price is not more than 390 naira per gigabytes of data. And we have already exceeded it. That is the projection we were having by 2025, but today it is available and possible. So the cost of data has dropped from 1,200 per gigabytes in August 2019, and the plan of making it at this 390 for 2025 has become possible. In broadband, there is a new technology that has come into play that is already also changing the equation in the broadband penetration. And I know a lot of you must have heard about Starlink. You know, most broadband connectivity and possibilities were available on wired and wire lines, but today we have a technology that is in the satellite. Starlink is a company that has been engaged or licensed by the federal government to provide broadband connectivity across the country. And because of the coverage of satellite, because of this technology, it is now possible to have broadband wherever you are in this country, because satellite covers the entire country. Before, it has to be where you have points of presence, but now it has a wider coverage. So that is saying that Nigeria has made progress in the broadband penetration, and also we have talked about mobile technology. I'm sure a lot of us will be aware that from 4G technology that has been in vogue, from first, if you remember, first mobile technology was in the analog, second, third, fourth, on the fourth, and of course recently licensed organizations to provide broadband services in 5G mobile spectrum. And of course, you are aware that for the economy also, the licensing of 5G technology, 5G license operators have yielded about $820 million so far for the 3 companies that have been licensed to provide the service. While this amount goes to the federal revenue, federal account, which is shared by all the states and all that, it's also generating a lot of revenue for those who are doing different types of businesses in there. And of course, the services have been launched by 1 or 2 of the licensees. So it has become one of the enabling technologies that is going to assist in the mandate of government and mandate of NCC to provide services in the country. And I mentioned policies. There is a major policy of the federal government, which is the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy 2020 to 2030. That digital economy is envisaging a transformation of Nigeria in the next 10 years. And when we talk about, that's why I mentioned that telecommunications is disruptive, because even in the blue economy of the 2030s, a lot has to happen within the telecommunication sector to make even and improve the economy. So there is a policy of government on national digital economy, talking about expanding the spheres of business, spheres of activities, and of course improving the skills of people and preparing them for the digital economy sector. And in that we are taking a number of steps in making sure that the evolution of digital economy does not let anybody behind in terms of skills. In that wise, we are providing infrastructure and access to people, especially people in the higher institutions, what we call adaptive program. And recently there is a vote of almost 2 billion to provide skill training for Nigerian youths, just to enable them, to prepare them to get skilled in the next economy. Because the next economy is not going to be talking about a lot of employment, it's going to be talking about skills, how people are able to develop skills. And across the country, at a go, we train like 2,000 youths selected from the 6 geopolitical zones, all in preparation for the digital economy. Again, this policy of digital economy is also targeted at developing markets, providing digital infrastructure, even in markets across the country. I'm sure if you are listening to the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy recently, some schools have been nominated to share, schools and of course markets also to share in this provision. And that is to enable them to keep fixing into the upcoming digital economy policy and strategy. Yes, I'm talking about also the recent NIM registration, because we are talking about identity management, and part of the progress being made is getting Nigerians' identity for the future. And it is one of the programs of the Commission in registration of citizens. Well, all said, the Commission has a future in developing the digital economy, and that is why I talked about the disruption of the blue economy and the economy generally. And the message here today is that in all sectors of it, in all sectors of the economy, the roles that the Commission has tried to play or is playing is to